Hey YouTube, it's Strictly Broken here, and today we're doing a very special kind of video for you guys today. I'm just here third wheeling, but with me I have both sponsored, both in the final table of the World Finals for Bushiroad Championship Series English 2017. Introduce yourselves, Sugoi people.
That
Yeah,
was a really bad introduction, Yuwei. But yeah, I'm Christian.
and I'm Riaz.
Dude, Christian, stop flirting with me, man. Holy man, I'm just trying to work, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I've watched this game in full, but not very diligently, so I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it. This is the first video of the two of you together commenting on this game, right? Or the only one, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Neither of us are commentating on this before, I think.
So it's good. You hear a lot of other people talk about what they think of your plays, but it's really good to sort of get a kind of closer look at what's actually going on, the mentality and stuff. So I'm very excited to see this. Let's just I guess, get the game rolling, guys.
all right. There we go.
Okay, so Mulligan is pretty standard for the AOT matchup. You just hard maul for move counter and wind and runner.
You didn't
Everything
actually.
else you just ditch.
Christian didn't draw win. Riaz drew win. I was watching this. I was watching this in the beginning. I remember this very clearly because Christian sacked through the wind later on in the turns, right?
I think second turn in level 0 I draw the wind.
Which is pretty like I think that's pretty anime, you know? That's a pretty anime thing.
So here I play Armin Runner and Mikasa Runner. I just force him to decide whether he wants me to crash, whether he wants to stock bomb the Armin Runner first, which is actually pretty important in case I trigger like a crit and send him to level 1. Uh, yeah, and I obviously decide to like let the Mikasa Runner live
Oh
because
wow.
that one can dodge cards better than the runner that can't actually run because it's in fucking center and it can only run to center.
Yeah, I decided just to kill the stuff anyway. It's whatever.
Uh, Riaz, three climaxes in hand. How are you feeling in this position, you know?
I mean, it's fine. I just say I'll just get rid of them later with move gears. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you always saw the game where I had 5 climaxes in hand by level 1, and I was still won that, so
I don't think
it's
having a lot of climax in
possible.
hand is too much problematic. Too problematic for AAT. It's just
So
the
here I just play another character that basically forces him into the tie, because now he can't like choose to not stock bomb me, so I always will only have runner in the field. Since I'm presumably sending him to level 1 this turn, and that way I can basically prevent him from getting off more than one errand, and he needs triple errand to actually get one off.
Do you, uh, I do think like the Mikasa runner is very good in the mirror. Very good, better than
Yeah.
Armin, 100% in the mirror. It's like the winning card in the mirror. I would love to argue that the Armin runner is better than every other matchup possible though. Like having it, every other matchup that exists
Yeah,
across
well,
the board,
I
Armin's
basically
better.
built this deck against the mirror, so
Yeah, and you're playing the mirror in the finals, so I
yeah,
guess it
I
paid
played
off.
the mirror like 4 or 5 times during the tournament, so
There you
it
got
worked
yeah.
out well.
Riaz
Um,
chooses to ditch the 2-1. Uh, I like this line of play. I like this line. I think I saw another video that discusses Riaz's line of play where you just drop these to mash and find move gears. People were kind of underrating this card in the very beginning of the list because they didn't realize how relevant it would be in the mirror, right? The Armin,
yeah.
no,
how's this
yeah, because you like the mirror dies and lives by the amount of move gears you draw. It's actually with the runner here, so if he's like a madman, he could have actually gone for airing combo, but that's obviously not like something you want to gamble on,
cancels on 4. Cancels on 4. That's pretty.
like a good player.
I don't know how I feel about that because cancels on 4 depth. Riaz could have just passed turn there. Uh, and he actually would be in a not terrible position.
Yeah, but he directed first. He left my card alive.
No, but if he fronted, you wouldn't have canceled on 4, right? So it's pretty interesting there.
Yeah, like if he actually chose to attack my runner first,
Yeah.
he
Did you
could have had the
cancel?
option.
He could have passed. Yeah. It would
Yeah.
Actually, no. If he attacks the runner first, I take the attack.
No, but I'm
Cancel
saying
the
not
next one.
not knowing if you would
Yeah.
cancel or not. He could have
Yeah.
gone for a attack runner first play.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do you think that was a misplay on your end?
I
Or
don't like. So I didn't really like. in the retrospect thing, I don't think it mattered what I attack with first, but
Should we be
Okay, so
pausing the
this is
video
oh,
a
while?
really
what?
yeah
Should we
yeah
be
yeah.
pausing the video while?
Let's pause it a bit because
Yeah,
this is actually one of the more interesting turns,
uh, yeah,
where I see that I have basically everything depends here on the amount of move gears in each other's hand. And first I tried to just play down Aaron and like and try to crash those two lanes, but then I'm seeing that I have two move gear, and then I'm doing something really weird where I actually change my mind, but I can't take Aaron back to hand, and then I just like play the Krista and salvage the 1-0 Aaron to like just mill through the deck and maybe try to grab. I'm not sure if I have another gear left or if I'm out all of them, actually, but I think I tried to look for another gear. And what this line of play also led probably Rias to think is that I don't have two move gear. Because he doesn't see me reveal one with the Armin, as far as I know. Yeah, because I already have two in hand. So he doesn't see me reveal one with the Armin. So,
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure at this point you think I don't have two move gear in hand.
Yeah, I want to
Because
think you don't have Tomb Raider. Yeah, yeah. Because you never revealed any, uh, that I saw.
No, I revealed one with the
Right.
first
Oh, the
Armin.
first time,
Like,
yeah, right. First time.
yeah, you didn't know about the second one.
Yeah.
And I ditched 5 on the mulligan, so you can presume that I
Have at
must
least
draw
one.
like into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And this line of play I want to talk about after the trigger here. So the reason why I decided to play move gear now is that I felt that the longer I let this drag on, the higher possibility you getting 2 or 3 move gears in your hand. So I
Well,
decided
you
to take
basically just gambled on me
yeah.
not having two move gear because my line of play didn't indicate that I have two move gear.
Right. So,
And then I had two move gear, which is basically the opposite of what happened during our
Swiss
mirror and
round.
the Swiss rounds.
Yeah, because right now I'm like, yeah, I'm gambling because I'm like, if I try to do this, like, let's say next turn, right? Then when I try to Aaron you probably are probably going to have a higher chance of having more move gears in your hand. So I take the gamble now and just move them out of the way and just attempt to get the reverses next turn.
So you decided you thought it was beneficial to not, because okay, don't you think the best game of AOT, or like the most, is when no one ends up doing combo. Like not the best game, but like the most fair game of Attack on Titan is when no one does combo, because there's no way in hell both people are doing combo ever. So there's 4 cases, right? Both people do combo. No, there's 3 cases. Both people do combo. Both people don't do combo, and one person does combo. So there's 3 cases, and it's impossible that both people do combo. I tend to find that if people can dodge combo forever, the game is very fair. So why didn't you
Well,
just like
then the game basically relies on you hitting brainstorms.
yeah, but it's
So-
fair. It's fair. Like it lets you boil it down. Like no one's doing something unfair, right? So why aim for pushing first? Because pushing is very dangerous. Like aiming to do combo is very dangerous, especially when like you're in the mid game and there's not a lot going on, right? Trying to do Aaron combo on the next turn is super dangerous because if it whiffs, you probably die. You just slam the climax, you have 2 Aarons gone, and you just lose, right?
Well,
Because you just use your move gears two now, so you don't have move gears anymore, right?
right. Well, see, that's why I also did this line of play because I had no brainstormer, and I did this line. Well, I understand what you're saying. Let me address what you just said. So, um, that's actually interesting because I've never thought of like just dodging the reverse all game and hope that my opponent also is trying to do the same thing. So there's no move, there's no Aaron
I
going
think
off.
it doesn't end up working out in practice, and at one point or another, one guy just
Yeah.
goes for it and pushes damage, and then the other one gets combo off, basically.
yeah,
Unless
because-
they don't have move gears in hand.
Because in practice, people start to get whoever gets agitated first will do it first usually, and
No, well,
They
whoever
usually lose.
gets a first. No, whoever gets a first good chance at like dealing a bunch of damage to the opponent, and like thinking that the game doesn't go like long enough or that he's set up well enough that he doesn't really care. Because if you're only attacking with 2 characters every turn, you don't actually lose hand. So you're not that stressed for hand at that point.
And the yeah.
So at the point where one of the players feels comfortable with just pushing That can also be where the other guy just loses because maybe he didn't attack often enough and then he just falls behind because all the cards in the world don't help you if you're like behind a level in damage.
That's fair. So Riaz identifying. Okay, A, I need brainstorm.
Yeah.
B, I can't go on forever because you are out like at this point you are out like 4 or 5 climaxes, right?
Yeah,
I don't know the
yeah,
exact
yeah.
number.
I think I'm at like 5 climaxes because I had like 3 in my hand and then I canceled like twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so that's why
Okay.
I go for this line of play too. Because if he does have the answers, at least I have a brainstorm to mill up my deck or attempt to search and like recover my hand because I had no brainstorm at all. So that's why, and I didn't want to risk the brainstorm leaving my deck because I believe I only had 2 copies left in my deck, and I don't know, after his turn I may have like 0 and may regret this. So I decided like I want my brainstorm now, so let me try to do my play and also get my brainstorm at the same time.
Mm.
That was what I was thinking. That's like an insurance of if he has answers to me, at least I have a brainstorm.
So okay, yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Very complicated turn then for both players, I guess. So you guys think you guys played this turn well, like the dynamic between the two of you.
Yeah, I think what both players did was very fine here. Like, there's I probably should have not played that Aaron, and I tried to be more spicy than I should have been because the way the Aaron it blocks my back row, so I actually can't like
Yeah,
move to back row. But like,
yeah, that's pretty
since
bad
I know
actually.
I have 2 move gear, I can still like dodge 2 reverses, and then I'd probably get off a reverse myself unless he has triple combo, and then I still get 1 reverse off because he bounces 1 and then move gears another, unless he has like move gears and like unless he drew 3 move gears, which is kind of unlikely. Very weird line, yeah.
Well, so like yeah, the Aaron you played, you're admitting is probably wrong, right? Just like you were just thinking of a different line in the beginning.
Yeah, I was
That's,
thinking of a different line, and then it just ended up panning out in a way where it made him more likely to think that I don't have 2 move gear.
So this is where, so like I know for a fact that he has at least, he has this Aaron here, and he has another Aaron. So, well, I'm thinking he at least has one more Aaron. So there, the reason why I direct first, because I know some people are telling me, well, I could have fronted here first, and then he is forced to move it to this open slot right here, so this can actually kill it. If he actually has answers to me, he's gonna have to play over his cards anyway. So therefore, he's going to get rid of them anyway. So I decided to go for the higher soul count, right here, and to top it off. If he doesn't have his errands, this has a chance of knocking them out of the deck right now. And I believe what happens is it stays in the deck and he searches for it. But that's my line of play of not swinging for these first.
no, that's fair. You know, I like the knocking out a deck thing. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Something that
because
not people consider a lot of the time.
yeah, I end up having 1 left, and also, um, he's correct about the part that, as you can see next turn, the armament surviving doesn't change anything because I'm just overplaying it anyways. Like both of them even.
But yeah, Riaz is just after this turn ends, super awkward position for Riaz. You know, it's like
Oh,
it's pretty hurt.
this is my everyday life, man.
So like, yeah, you're out of move gears. You used to dodge his.
Oh,
When you
I'm not out of move gears. I have one more.
oh, you have one more in hand, but the thing is like you use 2 of them to interact with his board,
Yeah.
and then you're going to a refresh without the move gears and a drop. I usually try to stall. Like in your position, I could have stalled 1 more turn because at least when you move gear, you get to have like the batch in your drop or
Yeah.
like whatnot. But like, oh, it's just
Yeah, I was thinking about attempting to stall like another turn, or like if I had to play the errands, and then like be like, hey, look, I have move gears, come at me. Uh, but I just wanted to take the chance he didn't have it, and I could just get 1 reverse off. But
oh
that's,
my god, the cancels. The cancels are legendary here.
oh yeah, Christian's cancel their legendary.
Well, the cancels are actually pretty good in this game in general until like level 3.
Yes, pretty good turn for Chris. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because now I had one errand in hand and I searched out the other two with the two move gears. Well, actually, I didn't have one errand in hand. I had one on field.
A little bit of cheat going on, like a little bit before. You know,
Yeah,
take
yeah.
damage
Because I
canceling,
take
moving
damage
after.
before I move the thing.
No rule shark. You know, we're all family here. No rule sharking needed.
Yeah, it's actually very very casual game.
What's funny is if you look at my hand, I ended up drawing the second brainstorm that was trapped in my deck.
Why didn't you overplay the Krista?
Because I want the Armins in my bin. Armin is a good card. Krista staying on the field doesn't matter.
But
Because I don't want to draw more Kristas.
all errands lose power. If you played a dank counter, you would actually have gotten outplayed.
I know his list. I know his list, so I don't
If
care.
if I played that 15 or 112k counter or something.
No, it's a 102k, like the Mikasa card.
Right. Yeah. That's what
Like
it
the
was.
2K counter outplays you on the Armin lane. So I don't know, man.
Uh,
I know the list, so I don't.
but at this point,
And the Armins in the drop are way more valuable than the Krista.
what was funny is when I played this move counter, Chris, were you thinking, I hope he doesn't have a fourth one?
Yeah, that was really awkward. And I'm like looking through his deck, what the fuck?
He's like, wait, I don't see
Because
the
I
last
really
one.
thought he was out.
Yeah, the other one's trapped in stock, I believe. I think, or I paid it out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you triggered it.
I triggered it, yeah, but I don't know if I paid it out.
I don't think you paid any stock this game yet.
Was there a reason you didn't use the? Because you don't have any more move counters in the bin, right?
Yeah,
Was there a reason you didn't use the proactive move counter in your hand?
because I was like, I'm thinking if he has double move gear, I'm fucked.
Yeah, but you couldn't have been thinking that because you checked the waiting room after he used the move gear.
And then I probably looked for something else, actually. Yeah, because he was refreshing, right? That's why I looked for through the drop. That makes more sense.
A little bit of logical connection there.
Also, like, my hand is pretty... Like, I think my hand is 2 Mikasa and 1 move gear. So it's not like I exactly want to drop one anyway.
A little bit of commentary on the sleeves we had to deal with.
Yeah.
all throughout the
Oh,
tournament.
yeah. He was like,
Yeah, the
shuffle.
judge actually reprimands me for that later on because I'm not quote-unquote shuffling properly, which was really fucking hard to do with those sleeves.
So, here I
Like, it was the
stock.
The first hard encore.
Yeah.
In what I heard was a string of many.
I think it was 2.
Yeah, well, the way I see
Just
it
the next term too.
is that, like, I actually think that the least stock you just need is just 6 against the mirror to play triple Mikasa. So I can afford to pay 3 in Encore because I whiffed the combo, so I don't have the luxury of just hoping I draw into playables and so forth, so...
He also couldn't pay out the climax otherwise.
Yeah. So now
It
I'm
ain't-
recovering my hand back slowly. I think
At this point, Riaz, what are you feeling though? Because Chris is canceling. He's in the favorable position. Did you feel like, yo, I don't have this game anymore?
to
Like,
be,
what
to,
was
be-
you
Well, canceling. If you look at the damage, he's actually more or less ahead, or we're
Nope.
at parity.
But canceling on top of doing double Aaron, like that's a position that I, as a player, I feel like I'm unfavored. You know?
I mean, I guess
Yeah,
I unfavored, but to be honest, I don't feel anything. I just make the best. I didn't think about those things like in a feeling perspective. I just strive to just make the best plays and just keep going and just see how it goes because, I mean, you can still deal damage, and as long as I have playable cards, I can still keep going.
I feel like objectively this is an incorrect attack order. He gets one more thin. Like objectively this is almost incorrect attack order. I don't know what other videos commented on, but specifically this attack, I remember watching it. I think this is wrong. Because you could have swung with the other two first, and it's like almost objectively better.
Swing with the
Yeah,
other.
because I have to move counter on the last attack.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing he gives me with this is by forcing me to search first. I don't know how much damage I'll take.
That's true, but the thing is like, what would in this game you win by dealing damage, not by like
So
He, you and Christian cancels marginally.
There's a reason why I did this, right? If you look,
Yeah.
Christian may have gotten his errands off, but his hand is so tiny right now.
Yeah.
And if I attack with something else first, those errands pop back to his hand and they become clock fodder, they become move gear fodder. So
But
I wanted to see how much damage I can do on this first attack where he's forced to drop move gear. So if he takes this first attack, then I can afford to side on these and not give him his hand back. That's my reasoning on doing that.
yeah,
Because
but you're so if you're siding, it's true you won't have errands in hand anymore, but like, is that really a big deal? Like
Well,
still getting the
it
plus
makes
on
my
board.
like Yuwei. Look at my hand. I'm basically my hand is now Mikasa's and either a move gear or basically I ended brainstorm that I just searched. So basically by doing the keeping my errands on the board, he's denying me clock fodder and discard fodder for the move counter.
like I think it's important to keep if you have a chance to keep the other ADT player's hand low, especially when you're on the defense like I am. I think that's actually important because that limits their plays. Because the errand's only good because it bounces back and gives them,
Yeah, but okay, so every player in this game gets a draw, and almost objectively the draw is a blank, right? The draw is like has a variance of different values, right? It could be high value, it could be low value, but like the assumption is that the draw, the randomized card, is always good clock fodder because it didn't exist in your hand before. You never planned for it, right? So I don't like logic that you can stop him from having a good clock, because if you just keep the card face down and clock it, it's a good clock fodder. You know what I mean? So I don't
Sure.
like
Yeah, but
that
if
logic at
Sure,
all.
but that's
If it's
the
like
logic is the number of cards in his hand, right? Like I'm just saying I just threw out clock fodder as one of the options, but my main thing was the number of cards in his hand because if he wants to continue dodging me or playing move gears, it's going to be harder with the lower card count in his hand. Especially when he has back row, he has a Krista, he can just move up and just swing and crash if he wanted to. Like I think it's important to keep his cards in the field too. I saw an early play Mikasa, so I know for a fact that he doesn't have the condition because there's 4 errands showing right now. So
So you might want to dodge the condition, is what you're saying.
well, no, yeah,
Oh, okay.
there's that as well. Like I'm setting like everything possible. I want to lower his hand and also dodge the condition because I was gonna get to the dodging because I saw him trigger. I don't know how much he was running. It looked like he was only running one after I looked at his list, but I don't know that. So I just saw
I
one.
think actually I think it's still in my deck even.
Okay,
I
okay.
think I think I think the dodging condition thing is really sick though. I do okay. Now when I said objectively, now I'm retracting and going a bit more subjectively because that's actually very relevant. We know Chris is playing this shitty 3-2. I'm joking. I'm joking on that one. I'm
Yeah.
joking on that one. But shout outs to Tom. Uh he's playing this 3-2 and all errands are gone. So it's very interesting that Riaz is thinking about dodging the clocking condition needed for that early play, which would let Christian cantrip, right? So that's very interesting. I like that.
Because right now I don't have the luxury of dealing with another early play as I am right now. Like not another, an early play in general, especially an early play that replenishes his hand as well. Like I like what's funny is that he can even use that early play to search for the win and do the combo all over again.
Yeah. That's actually fascinating to me. So this is why these guys are in the finals and I'm not, right? That's that line of play that I think I could really respect. That's some next level shit, you know? That's actually some next level shit. Because he could always get it with the move counter too. So you can basically always get a win back. It's like, okay, I respect your play, Riaz. I respect it.
Now if he didn't take this attack, right? Let's say he didn't take this, then I wouldn't even care because I'm gonna lose if I don't deal damage. So I'm gonna just front and
I
just
can respect.
and do that, because yeah, I'm not gonna win by just dealing 1-1. So, I may have sided still, but nah. I think I would have fronted too if he canceled that first attack. And then here I side.
Oh, 2 Armins in damage, dude.
Yeah, that actually also happened against the Konosuba guy, which was really awkward because he's playing the clock shoot, so I wasn't able to like protect my stuff with hexproof. See, I'm playing 2 Armin and I still fucking don't get it to hand.
Did you draw wind?
No. I drew another move gear, I think.
Well, this is a ballsy. No clock is pretty ballsy, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he knew he had like a good bit of climax in his deck, so he took the risk.
Yeah, I had 5 climaxes left in my deck, and it was like 15 cards or less. So I'm very favored to hit like one. And at this point, I'm not bothering playing around the
Yeah,
combo
look,
anymore.
there it is. There's the early play, so it went back in the deck.
Yeah, it was still in the deck.
Your face while you're shuffling.
Yeah, I was just about to tap, and the judge's like, I need you to shuffle again. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just cut.
I don't know. Not clocking there I think is a little bit spicy. Imagine like the fail case. You missed the brainstorm. It's pretty awful.
Yeah, but it's very unlikely to miss the brainstorm. And like, if I clock, I basically have more of a chance to like remove more climaxes from my deck, and I really
Yeah.
don't want to do that and get like eat like everything. Because right now I'm in a very good position. I have like 4 climaxes left in my deck. 3 or 4, I'm not sure, because I triggered one.
So we see the second hard encore, and that hard encore is really good for Riaz because he actually draws the wind, so he gets to actually do some plays now.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, I mean,
In theory, here's where I begin to cry. Here it begins.
is there no move gears in the draw?
No.
No, no, no,
You'll
no,
see.
no.
You'll see. It's coming up.
Wait,
This
did you actually forget that?
like this. I'm like, okay, I'm in actually a pretty good situation. He has a full field, and then I reveal 3 reds because my deck at the time was 4 yellows and 3 reds. So I play the Armin and I reveal 3 reds, and it was depressing because I was trying to so my goal was to just mill 3 cards so I have 4 in deck, so the win would go back.
Oh my god.
And that, so I was like, okay, well now I'm forced to just ditch my win because it
You
was
could have also ditched the 3-2 and salvaged back the move gear.
yeah. There was also that, but the way it was going with my low hand,
But if you like play the climax, you're probably dealing less damage than you are without the climax.
yeah.
That's so awkward, man. And then Christian only takes 1 that turn. Holy, that's a pretty awkward turn for you. I'm not gonna lie. Were there some misplays there? I'm trying to think. Like, could something have
No.
been done better?
I don't think there was misplays there. I don't really. Besides, like just playing the 1-0 Armin and not using the ability, but then I would have like what 4 damage left over in
Yeah.
my deck.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
I-
you had to do it. You had to.
Yeah,
do it.
I have no climaxes in my deck, so
Yeah, so here I brainstorm again. I don't clock again because I know I'm gonna hit the brainstorm. And I can fetch the Armin
yeah, because
and just get another playable in my hand.
if,
What's also
like
if I would have clocked, first of all I'm missing the split 2k one that I just paid out with the stock, and then I draw another one. Which I actually don't want that yet if possible, because I know like look at my stock, I will do like triple Mikasa and Armin. So we'll get the split 2k one.
yeah, because right now he has no playable cards in his hand.
Wow.
His only playable card is the Tristia on the field. So he hits 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
okay.
I have 2 more move gear and 2 Mikasa level 3.
Dude, I'm
Because I
sorry,
draw
but
another move gear for the
this
turn.
might have like been like indicative of something very like game breaking for you because your hand is low, you're not really going anywhere, and then this happens. I think you're probably more happy than sad that happened, right?
Well, I wanted to hit 2 if possible. 3 is like a bit overkill, but 3 is still fine.
As long as your Armins are, kind of lucky.
As long as my Armins aren't that bad.
Oh, you even have the early play condition, dude. You could have
Yeah.
switched to early play.
Which, yeah. If I was very spicy, I could have done that.
Holy!
Like this, that could have turned out way worse than it did. But he got the yellow at the end. Because it would have been even worse if he didn't get anything.
Holy, that is pretty awkward. Oh, but you gotta. Oh my god,
See,
you're out a lot there.
This is what I actually
Yeah,
want to
I'm
question.
out 6.
Why did you
Oh, and
ditch
by the way,
this?
you can pause the call here.
Yeah. What,
Okay,
like,
so the reason what a lot of people didn't get here is that even if I play another Armin, I actually don't change my chance of canceling because I'm not going through my deck until it's my turn again. So by doing another Armin, I don't improve my chance at compression. I don't actually get to the next refresh turn faster, so it doesn't matter. And like I get more likely to actually move out the climax from my deck. And if I hit another climax out, I could probably just die the next turn.
Okay. Well, I figured it was something like that, but I was just figuring if you were out so many, you might as well just mill 3 extra cards just to get closer to your next refresh.
Yeah, but the difference is since I'm not refreshing before
Yeah.
your attacks anyways, before your attacks finished anyways, there's not really a point to it. Unless, like, I can gamble that I just mill clean damage off the top, but I'm just equally as likely to mill climaxes.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to risk that because I could actually lose from that spot.
Well, at the same argument of that, if we're talking about milling climaxes, I don't think it's mattered because if they're on top of your deck, you're gonna lose them anyway through triggering. So it's
No,
more.
but like,
But yeah.
well, okay, it's more about triggering climaxes.
Yeah,
after
yeah, yeah,
milling,
yeah,
whatever.
'cause
Well,
if
look at it. Riaz, his fail case is potentially dying. His success case is not that success. Like it's not
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
being in a decompressed deck attacking is much better than being in a compressed deck. No. What I mean to say is like,
Yeah, yeah, I
sorry,
understand.
like my idea. I think Christian is just trying to imply that his fail case was so awful that he's just rather take the safer play. Like I would say, not arming here is quote unquote safer. You know.
Yeah, yeah, no, I understand that. Like you
The
might as
swing
well keep it.
values of triggering a CX on his cards are low. So I think that's what he's trying to say here.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, Christian, is that kind of what you're alluding to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you basically repeated what I said, so yeah.
It's in some different words, you know.
But yeah, because because the thing is, if you mill 3 clean, then now you have a higher chance of triggering your climax and just like flat out dying.
No, well,
right?
well, it's along the lines of basically I remove 6 cards from my deck if I play the Armin. I only remove 3 cards from my deck
Right, right.
if I only attack.
And I think he
So the
feels
chance
like,
that a climax is there is less.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because you're flipping more cards over with 6 than 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
feel like that even one climax will be enough for you to live, but none, you might die. Is that what you're feeling right now?
Yeah.
Actually, I could still die with 1 if he has like double me, because at the climax I probably die if I only have 1 left. So I actually need to like not trigger any to be fairly certain that I'll survive.
Yeah.
Like I
Well-
could even survive if I trigger none of them. Even die if I trigger none of them.
Yeah,
which
but
is the scary part. But here I'm checking like how many cards can I actually mill. But it's like fine.
So here
So
I
Chris
think
is
you
now
were.
s-
Yeah.
what the heck is this play for? Okay.
Basically I want to crash on every lane possible. So I'm thinking about how to do that. And then I realize I have to play over the Armin and not the Krista. Oh, actually, yeah, I moved the Armin to the back and not overplay him, I think. Or I'm not sure. Oh,
No,
I have
you,
to
you
move
just you
move
just
here,
play
so-
the global.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So I can tie in center. And at least tie in center, because I always want to kill all his cards. Because he's low on hand. And I want to tie as many lanes as possible, and this is actually the only lane I can tie in.
But don't you want a full crash? Full crash would not be that bad. Oh, but he doesn't have a lot of cards in hand. Oh, I see what you're going for. Yeah.
He wants
He
to
only has
limit
2
my
cards in
options.
hand.
Yeah. So you're just kind of like,
I have to kill his characters, but I want to like remove as many as possible from me. This is like
Rias?
the best.
Rias had 3 move gears in the bottom 4 cards. That's pretty dank. I'm not gonna lie. It was 3 move gears in the bottom 4 cards because he triggered 2.
Yeah.
And then the last one's a damage. That's pretty dang. Riaz playing Gentleman's Waste, letting a Christian look at the waiting room. You didn't have to, man.
See,
Wait, actually, no. I think if you haven't, like, you have to like give the opponent the opportunity to like ask for the drop.
No, you have to ask. Riaz doesn't have to respond. Oh, like if you ask, Riaz has to respond. But if you don't ask, Riaz doesn't have to respond. So it's pretty courteous of Riaz.
I wanted Christian to be at his best.
Well, first of all, we didn't rule shock in general, and second of all, I actually don't think like if you just like that's bullshit, because if you just mill your cards and then immediately reshuffle, that's not something you're allowed to do. I think that's actually bullshit.
I mean, I don't think it's bullshit because whatever. I'm just trying to love anime.
Like I'm pretty sure we had this because like if that was the case, if you play like something like a mill 3 or something and mill your waiting room and then immediately start shuffling without giving your opponent a chance to do anything,
I don't know if that's
then your
illegal or
opponent
not,
wins
but
your waiting room.
I just feel that's just wrong in general. Like I don't know. Like I guess ethically, I don't know. I the point is he can see it anytime. So I just reminded him, hey, you want to check my waiting room.
Dude, Christian was scared. Did you see how he was making his attacks? He was like flipping it super lightly. He was like hella scared.
Well,
Because here actually, Rios is to clock one of his level 3 Mikasas because he didn't get any red.
yeah, I
Level
had
1 or level 2.
yeah, I never got any red into
Which
my
is
claw.
another drawback of not playing the Mikasa runner. Is that
I
you actually
mean-
don't have a lot of red.
I mean, that drawback like will matter so rarely. Like that's just fishing for drawbacks at that point. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's another thing that you can keep in mind. But on the flip side, of course, it makes your Armins more likely to miss.
So right here, I'm debating whether to play more cards to allow Armin to check for the Mikasa Climax, but I declined. Let me pause right here. So I declined just because I was like, okay, well, if I survive a turn, if I draw a move gear and I want to search, I want to have enough hand. But the thing is, I already had enough hand. So like after thinking about it, this is probably a misplay because I should probably try to search for the try my hardest to get the climax and like attempt to kill him from here. So because because I have I think 3 cards in hand right now, right? Yeah, right. I think 3. Yeah.
Yeah, because you had 2 in hand, drew 1, and then
Clock.
clocked.
Yeah. Okay. So I have 3, and I think this is what I'm getting my 4th one here, I guess.
Yeah.
So I probably should have tried to go a little deeper to get the Mikasa combo off. Because like right now my soul counts at maximum is just 9. So
It's just me dying exactly to refresh or like if you trigger, or no, actually I'm dead to the Mikasa burn exactly.
right. So if yeah. So
If you play climax.
if I play climax or if I decide to use the pay to. So I just decline. I just like okay. Well, I want to save my hand as much as possible to full field cards next turn in case I decide to move up this Aaron Brainstorm. So that's why I decided I want to like okay, let me keep as much cards at hand because me getting the combo here actually doesn't matter that much. That's what I was thinking. So I just wanted to look for any climax possible.
Yeah, because you only had 1 Mikasa anyways.
But then again, the argument can be made that if I was going to just look for any climax, I should at least play 1 more card in the back row. So I could have done that. So, but yeah, that's my line of thought of why I didn't play because I was like I want to keep as many cards in my hand as possible. But if I just played in the back row, it's not like it's dying, right? So that was that. And I didn't get it, but I at least got the win. So I was actually I didn't feel too bad. I was like, okay, this is good. I have a climax and it's global. That's even better for me. So now the goal is just to get yeah, I had a Chris that I could have played down or whatever, or another Brainstorm. So
you had a really nice 3-3-3, with you had a very nice 3-3-3 going for you. Is there a reason you chose not to go for a 3-3 and rather go for a 2-4-3?
No, I
he's
go
actually
for the
going
3-3.
for the 3-3-3.
Well, you'll see in a
Which
second.
is basically what I was arguing was the misplay here. Because 3-3-3 or 2-4
They all need to
3
stick.
doesn't actually matter.
Like
Because
all,
like if I cancel 1 attack, I live. So it actually doesn't matter. I need to take 9 straight from the top.
Oh, he does go for the 3-3. Oh, there was a...
Yeah. And okay, pause the video here.
all right.
So okay, what you need to realize, the 2-4-3 doesn't matter at all because to die I need to take 9 from the top. So the damage numbers actually don't matter. And what doing this basically means is that I have 3 reverse targets the next turn. Whereas if he crashes the Brainstorm, first of all I'm swinging into an empty lane if I do triple Mikasa, which is already worse than 2-2-2, and I don't get the extra burn. So I'm actually way more likely. I'm actually really likely to kill him now this turn.
But if he's going for a kill, I think. Okay, so I think
he's kind of going for the kill, but he's also like he thinks about not killing me, obviously, and he doesn't end up valuing the brainstorm enough.
the cool thing about
the fact that you can ram the brainstorm.
Okay, so the cool thing about 3-3-3 is the value of each swing. They can all potentially trigger, right? And if he puts you at 3-6 after refresh, you also can't clock for the climax. While 2-4-3 also can do that with the 4 swing. There's some value in leaving people at 1 damage away from lethal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Yuwei, did you not understand any of what I just said?
No, I know what you're trying to say is you're saying that Rias heavily increases his own chance of dying, right?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that literally swinging for 3, 3, 3, and 4, 2, 3 makes zero difference in this
No, no,
situation.
no, no, no. Because on
Zero.
do you not understand that on each if you hit a trigger and he goes up 1 on each 3-3-3 swing, you're left at 3-6. You can't clock. You can't.
So yeah, so okay, so the
While
my
2-4, while 2-4-3 leaves you in these like jagged positions. You could be at
Yeah, but with 2, 4,
2-6.
3, if you trigger on the 3 string and don't trigger on the 4 swing, it's the exact same situation.
But if you
It
trigger on the
doesn't matter.
4 swing on,
Or if you trigger on the 4 swing and I take the 5 and I trigger on the and he doesn't trigger on the 3 swing, it's the exact same. The only difference, like
no, no, no,
it matters
because
a bit for
I'm
damage
saying
that I take, but it doesn't matter for me dying, and it doesn't matter for me getting hit to 3-6
so
because triggers are random.
so
Okay, sorry, Riaz. Go
so okay, so the main reason why I decided not, because you remember I was thinking what he was thinking before, right? That's why I wanted the crash. I didn't want to leave him a target, but what I was thinking was whether I crash or not, I would still have to cancel one Mikasa. If he has triple, I would still have to cancel one Mikasa. Like I would still have to cancel all the major burns. So I was like, okay, well, uh, there is actually no difference in me surviving, but I guess it would leave a direct slot getting easier to cancel. But the reason why I go for 3-3-3 is because in the offset that he does not die, I didn't want to take the risk to have a lane go so high to where it gets to the next climax. So yes, all of it has to what do you call it? All of it has to hit, right? Because that's what Christian's saying, right? It doesn't matter. All three attacks have to hit for him to die. It actually doesn't matter in terms of that. But it was just such a nice even soul count to the point where if he cancels one and like I start triggering on the threes, that's just 4, 4, and 4, but if I leave a 4 soul out there, I trigger like on a 5, like that like I don't like that soul count because like if you cancel, I want you to I want you to I guess it depends on how, but this like has nothing to do with
No, it
I don't
actually
know.
doesn't matter because you don't know your triggers.
Right. You don't
It
need
actually
triggers, so it doesn't matter. But I was just saying, like, in the anticipation of like,
Yeah.
I don't know my triggers, but if I were to trigger, kind of thing. So
ahead.
that's kind of what was going in my mind.
You don't know your triggers, but when you set up 3-3-3, let's pretend you trigger on every. Let's talk about a case where you trigger on every single attack, whether it's 4-4-4 now. If this was the 3-3-3 case, it'd be 4-4-4, or if it was the 3-4-2, it'd be 4-5-3. Now 4-5-3 leads to some pretty bad scenarios with your burn one on the Mikasa, while 3-4-4-4 leads to some pretty cool scenarios. Of course, like 4-5-3 also leads to the really cool scenario
He
where
knows.
the
He knows I have a
5-6
move gear.
where the 5-6 and burn one.
He knows
like,
that I have at least one move gear in hand, so
No,
he can't
but-
bank on the Mikasa burn.
But in this specific case, what else acts as a burn is a wind. A wind acts equivalently to a burn in this case because it increases your soul by 1 and increases another lane by 1. It does the same thing as the Mikasa's burn 1 does. And so I actually think that I don't know if it matters, and I don't care if it matters, but
I'm
now that I think of-
pretty sure like somebody that's actually better at this can probably tell us, but I'm like 99% sure that 3-3 and 4-2-3 is actually no different. Like we know for a fact it doesn't make a difference in terms of me dying, and I'm pretty sure also that like if he survives the triple Mikasa turn, like the damage I'm at isn't that relevant. Like if I survive this turn, the damage I'm at isn't that relevant.
Well, I'm saying putting you in a position where you can't clock, right? Because like okay,
Yeah,
putting you in
but 3-3 doesn't change that from 4-3-2 because you don't know where you trigger.
No,
Well,
but 4,
you-
4,
okay,
5,
okay.
3 makes numbers that are bad for his
Like-
case, right? 3-3-3 makes some good numbers.
Yeah,
for
but
his
on the
case.
other hand, if you trigger on every attack, then you could also just trigger on none of the attacks.
Yeah,
Like-
all right. So like the scheming behind this was let's look at it in the perspective of Christian
Like
canceling.
Yuwei, you have to think about this from the perspective of how does Rios win this game, because like I'm not likely to die anyways, and by doing this he greatly increases his chance of dying the next turn.
I mean, he
Well,
was not winning this game unless he gets kind of lucky, right? In this position, I don't think he's winning this game unless he gets kind of lucky.
Yeah, but he basically can instantly lose this game right now and can make it a lot less likely that he instantly loses if he changes around the attack order while not actually making it basically more likely, not making it more likely at all that I die this turn. The only thing that changes is the damage I'm at after attacks.
right,
I mean,
right. So that's what I was gonna say, right? The reason why I swung for 3-3-3 here was I was also thinking in the perspective of, okay, well, if he only cancels one attack, he would take 6 damage. But if
So
I
I'm at
look
3-3 then.
But if you look at it from the other perspective, if I would have done 4, what happens if you cancel the 4 and you only took 5 damage? So that you're at less damage. With 3-3-3, it just makes it you're at a higher damage, or you're at a probably you're more likely to be at a higher damage if you do cancel with those numbers. But at the downside is I'm basically offering my soul up to you by living you through reverses.
Yeah, and basically what this does is this line plays for the next turn, but you're also making a next turn a lot less likely. So that's kind of a contradicting line.
Real talk though, this line of play would be perfectly fine if I had a move counter.
Yeah, sure.
oh wait,
Uh,
let's continue.
uh,
I think his threes also have the value of side, but I don't know. Like, because if
yeah,
he triggers
that's
on the
okay.
first
So
attack,
this is what I was also thinking, right? I direct hair first, and if I like triggered a two soul trigger or a trigger and he took it, right? I might actually be inclined to side one of these attacks to prevent him from searching, and if that triggered, I would then side one of these other attacks and just try to kill him. That's the other reason behind 3-3-3. Because I was
well,
actually
no,
thinking
but
about maybe siding.
he was 2-3. No, that line of play doesn't work.
2-4.
He was
2-4.
2-4 at the time.
Right, right,
That
but
line of play doesn't make sense.
no, right, no. What I'm saying though is I could trigger two soul triggers, like, what I'm saying is this is what I'm thinking before. So when I attack,
Oh, okay, yeah. If you trigger a two soul there, you can go side and side. Yeah, Christian, I can't deny that that's a fine line. Like,
but
I can
but
respect
I
that a
still
lot.
I think that's a very contradicting line to what he
Ri-
actually wants.
right. So I also on the notion I do agree that I'm actually more likely to die because of the Aaron, being on the field. But the way I was also thinking is you have a move gear, so you might actually just move out of the way so it doesn't matter. But I guess it forces you to drop your move gear anyway. Now I don't know you have two, right? But I think you only have one. But apparently I think you had two in your hand.
Yeah, I have two, but I ditched the second one because
You
the
know,
other two cards in my hand are 3-2 Mikasa.
you know what's a really cool line? Uh, if you go, because I know you have you have a Krista in your hand. If you go Crash Krista into Armin first, and then Crash Brainstorm into Armin, and then see if Christian would use a move counter for the Mikasa burner in your center. I think that's a really cool line that you could have taken. So he
Uh,
either gives himself reverses, or he. I think that's actually a pretty cool line. I don't know if you would have
So
made it.
that line of play came up after like I was looking at this over and over. I noticed that I could have played either a Christie or a Brainstorm on the sides and put the Mikasa in the center. So I double crash, which I think might have been the actual line of play, is to actually double crash and force.
That seems pretty nice. Yeah.
But I was unable to recognize that line of play during that time period. So I only thought of single crash. The line of double crash actually didn't come to my mind there, because then I would just put the Armin in the back row and he can attack like next turn or help me get over something. I don't know. Depends on what he plays. But yeah.
Anyway, we'll continue. There's a lot of interesting lines you could have taken there.
So here I think he takes 3. And now I was like, okay, let's see if he'll move counter. And he moves.
Oh, you would have killed him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he actually was actually dead if I could have triggered. Because had I triggered, boy, I would have been siding all the way. But now he searched, right? So now he's sitting on his deck. Now, regardless, you don't know that we're at the bottom. But I mean, like,
Oh man.
when I was looking at this, I was like, oh my god, this dude was like dead. But it's whatever. But I thought that was funny.
Dude, imagine if Chris died in that position. He would have been the saltiest salt lord ever to salt. Holy shit. That's exciting.
So then he takes this 3 now. I'm like, oh, excellent. I have a chance of just killing him right now. But it's very unlikely.
It's actually impossible, I think.
No, it's not impossible. It's like they would have to
I
be
had
the
two
last.
climaxes left.
Right,
You have
right.
two
So they
climaxes
they
left.
would they would have to be
Yeah, but
Oh,
within
it's
the
5.
you
Oh yeah, if both the bottom cards are climaxes,
right,
yeah,
right.
then I die.
You
Because I had
yeah.
5 cards left. Yeah, I thought it was just 4.
No, no, no. It was 5. That's why I was like, oh, maybe I win here, but no. I didn't actually think I would win there anyway. When you
It
searched,
was, yeah, it was pretty unlikely.
but I'd be
Like
fine with
actually,
it.
my climaxes needed to be the bottom,
I mean,
both
Riaz,
bottom cards.
don't sell yourself short. You're out 2, right? I don't know
Yeah,
how much fucking press you were, but you're
it's
out
six.
Yeah,
2.
because
Like
he didn't trigger any this turn.
It's
Yeah.
six.
the realm of living is not like
He,
I don't. A lot of people are saying Riaz sacked this game. If you
Oh,
see what
actually,
happened a
like
bit
the
late,
chance of him dying is like over 80%, I think, or like 70 to 80.
uh,
why would it be over 80%? I'm pretty sure
Because
you're.
if any, like look at the damage numbers for triple kaleidoscope for the states, double kaleidoscope for the state he's in, and
Yeah.
those are already like 70 or something, and this is way better damage numbers than double kaleidoscope.
Well, we don't know what state he's in, man. That's what I'm saying. Like
No,
you're
like
shooting this number in the dark because we
uh,
don't know.
no,
What's
we
in
know
it.
what state he's in. He's like 6 in
it's 6 and
20 or
20.
something.
Yeah, 6 and 20
6 and
right now.
21.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't really looking at how much is in his drop, but um,
I think when we calculated it's
So
six
here I
and
played 2 Mikasas and draw 2 wins, which is great.
I don't think even if like
I personally don't like me. I was thinking that I was in a like okay enough position to that I have a chance of surviving, but I don't think it's as low. I can probably accept maybe 30% of survival. I don't think it's 20%. I do think it's like it's closer to like 30 to 40% survival.
It's definitely, it's 100% not 40. I can like run the code later, but it's definitely not that high. Like 100% not that high.
But yeah, I would need to cancel a 2, so that's why double crashing or single crashing makes it a lot easier because then he either has to wait another turn to Mikasa or he tries to just get single or double off. And me, I'm like, yeah, there's nothing left. It's just the cancel main attacks. Let's go.
As some people are wondering where I put the split Tuki one, and I like
Yeah,
show it to both back row cards. So it's
yeah.
all, like there's no reason to actually attack for 3. That's actually dumb.
oh shit. Do you think if he didn't double trigger,
It wouldn't have
like
mattered, but sure. Oh, you mean
It
how would I would
wouldn't
feel?
matter. The way his climaxes were, it didn't matter.
no,
But
when
like
you
if
saw
I don't double trigger, I probably survive.
Oh, if I didn't see a double trigger?
no what like because like kaleidoscope number whatnot, sure, those are cool, but as soon as those numbers aren't 2 3s anymore, they're 4s. I think like at this point I think Riaz might
Yeah,
feel like he's just gonna live.
At this point, it's more likely he doesn't die. Yeah, because I double trigger crit, obviously. But like that's like already counted in. Like triggers are already accounted for.
And I want to know if Riaz can pause this. Like I know this is not like I'm not talking about like the game itself, but I want to know how you're feeling here, Christian, because like he's canceling the attacks, your game is slipping away. How are you feeling?
Well, at this point, I know I've lost.
No, but how you like you had the like you felt like you had the game at the start of the turn, and now you don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Suddenly you don't have it. How are you actually feeling? Like you could have been
Well-
world champion.
Well, like the world champion thing didn't matter that much. If it was like the actual like invite to worlds, I probably would have been salty as shit. Like if it was the actual like qualifier for worlds, I would have been very fucking salty. But like since this actually doesn't like really matter, I was like fine with it.
Okay. So, and then how's Riaz feeling? Like Riaz, how are you feeling in this moment? Because I think everyone wants to know, like, how are you feeling
Well,
canceling like
before
literally
so
Jesus?
so like I kid you not, I was hoping. Like so after the first 2 cancel, right? I'm like, okay, just one more to go, right? And when he didn't trigger on this one, I was like, okay, well, I have a like like a lower chance of canceling this. Is like it's only 2, right? I think you only swung for 2, right? Is a crystal trigger, right? 2,
Yeah.
yeah, 2.
Yeah. It's
So-
like for two.
So like at this point, I'm like, okay, I take this 2, I die. It's over. So like I was like, ugh, you know. But then I was like, nah, I can't let it in like this, even though I can't do anything about it, right? I just have to let the cards tell their tale right now. But I was like, nah, it's not gonna end like this. So I believe that it wouldn't end like this, and it didn't end like this, even though that has nothing to do with the actual game. That's how I was feeling. I believe that I would have survived just because I had enough climaxes to survive, and it wasn't terrible. Even though the numbers say, okay, well, I have 30% chance of surviving or whatever. Uh, I was like, I still have 6 in this deck. The deck is not terribly small. I mean, terribly big. It's actually a very good size. Just not for this type of finisher, but it's a very good size. So I was like, yeah, there's only one way out. I'm gonna just cancel and go. So that's what I believed, and I guess the prophecy came true. But yeah, no, but that's how I'm feeling. And then when I canceled this, I was like, oh, good. Now I can kill him next turn, right? But this next part, I just thought it was hilarious. Like this that was just BM right there. Like my 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 deck only had 2 climaxes over. It left after that like onslaught, and I canceled the win, and I was like, man, that last burn 1 for cancel was actually like that was the ultimate sack right there. Like that extra burn 1 cancel, because this gives me the chance to clock. But here's where you find out that my vision isn't 2020 for whatever reason. Like for whatever reason, I'm thinking that he has stock right now. I don't know if it's because the mat shows like stock or whatever, but I'm thinking he has stock for whatever reason right now. I don't even know why I'm thinking it. But so I encore because it's like, okay, I'm encore my attacker and it can burn. These can just die. It's whatever. Now me, I'm thinking Chris has at least 2 climax in his deck. I didn't know he had 1 in his hand. I actually draw the healer. So I'm positive. I didn't clock here because I actually thought he had stock for whatever reason. I don't know why I thought he had stock. And that's why I didn't clock. And then I realized after that he didn't have stock, and I felt like a scrub because I still had 1 climax left on my deck and it was a split 2k. So had he had more climax in his deck, it would be like really hard to kill him without the split 2k.
You actually also drew the healer, so it didn't matter at all. You could have still clocked, and if I had stock, you still wouldn't have died.
Right.
Because you drew the healer.
Right. There's also
But you probably didn't think of that.
Yeah,
you decided that you won't clock before that.
I mean, he just literally survived, like a pretty, like
1-2-1.
His emotions.
1-2-1.
Yeah, his emotions are everywhere.
Yeah.
And I feel like you say that emotions don't carry weight in a person's plays. Like Riaz is just dumbfounded right now. He's just like oh, I don't fucking know what's going
no,
on.
if you look what I did, right? Like let me go back. Like look how look how quick.
Watch out, if you go back, you're gonna go back like 20 minutes.
No, I got it. See, oh my god, don't worry about it. I'm computer tech. Watch this. Look, I just do this and watch this. There's not even hesitation, right?
It's not thinking, right?
Like it's just my body is moving on its own. It's just like play healer. Let's go. So like there was actually no thought. Then now the thought came, right? The thought's like, okay, let me actually look and see what are my chances of surviving if he survives. This was something I was also thinking too. I was like, well, if I'm at this damage, it's harder to kill me if he needs 2 to kill me instead of 1. So I was like, if Christian survives, but I mean, to be honest, at this point, anyone should be thinking that they're just dead if Christian survives. He's just gonna murder me. But
I think if Christian didn't let you take back that attack, it was all ogre now.
No, it actually didn't matter. And also, we played the entire game in a way where just we weren't.
Well, yeah, because I could have called some things and all that, but I was like, there's no point.
Wow, you're reading that card, Christian, almost like.
I checked for the power condition.
Yeah,
because I wasn't sure if it was 2 or 3 characters.
Yeah, some people were confused. Like, why is Christian reading the card? And it was probably just to see if
you know what? I've actually played this card down once in my entire games with this deck, probably.
I mean, we don't have to talk about how you're terrible at Attack on Titan now, but we can talk about that later.
No, I think the card actually just sucks. Like the change sucks.
I think that's what you do to me at night. All right. Anyways, let's. Christian knows he's dead. He's just.
Yeah.
I love how you're just there. You cancel. See, it matters if you didn't let him take it back. It actually mattered. You would live at.
No, it didn't matter because he had another attack, anyways.
And then I forgot what I was like gesturing. I was
We're
asking
talking
something.
about something.
Yeah, we were
I
talking
think
about
you were
something.
asking if I
How
was actually. Oh,
Oh,
what
oh,
I had in hand probably.
that and I think I was talking about crashing the brainstorm, and I don't know what was the right line of
Okay.
play. I think that's what it was.
Holy shit!
uh,
This video went way too long. This is like no. Why? People don't want to watch this.
I mean, maybe they do. But anyways, I think we talked about the game a lot as is, so we won't do our, usual talk afterwards. Congratulations, Riaz. Super proud of you, man. Don't let the haters are gonna hate, When I won last year, everyone said I sacked because I milled 2 climaxes and it helped me go to level 1. I don't know, man. Uh, like the game is variance. Like the Vanguard guy who won Worlds hit quad trigger to win. Like, come on, these games are
He apparently
variance.
he from what I've read, he also sacked like all the Swiss rounds. So that's
I
why
mean, he
people were accusing him of stacking in the comments, which
I
was
mean,
really funny.
he was playing blasters. It was like, I don't know. Like we were talking about it here. Like it was a good meta call, I think, because it just rushed. It just rushed and killed people, right?
Yeah,
But
I actually have no idea about Meta Vanguard, so
um, I think Riaz, you earned it. Proud of you, man. Christian, you as well. Super proud of you, man. Second place, first place. Repping the best card store on the internet. Strictly Broken TCG. You can buy your singles today. Uh, um, yeah, guys. Anything else you want to add?
at least I had the best interview, I guess.
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah.
My mins was pretty serious. Like it was
Yeah,
pretty
but
funny
both
because
of them were really serious, and I was just like trolling
yeah,
everybody.
Min was like, I want to thank the people I played. I want to thank my mom. And you're like, first of all,
Like if you look at the deck names, like him and Min have like somewhat serious names, and my deck name is just top four, just sucks.
wait, did they let that print?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
actually
let it
put it
print.
inside.
Maybe they're admitting that.
Oh no, it's top four is a joke.
Yeah.
Top four is a joke.
Yeah, I think if
Oh,
it was top four sucks, I think they might have not printed, but top four is a joke. Probably like,
Yeah,
okay, we'll let it go.
all right, guys. It was nice talking to you guys. How long was the video, Chris?
infinite hours.
All
Like I
right.
actually don't know Rias is recording.
Uh, okay, well, I don't want to go from the screen because it'll display my desktop and stuff, so.
Just stop it.
All
So,
right, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Strictly Broken signing out. Peace.
alright, yeah. One.
Okay, sorry guys, I forgot about something when we talked about the match, which is really weird because I think that's one of the most important things that people that are decent at the game just overlook when they think about the AOT mirror, and that's actually signaling, especially concerning mulligans and early attacks. Because think of it this way, the only three cards you keep in the matchup in your opening hands are Move Gear, Wind, and Runner. So let's say the opponent ditches 4 cards, and then they don't play Runner on the first turn. It's extremely likely that they have Move Gear or Wind in their hand. And depending on how many cards they mulligan and what they play, you can actually learn to guess a lot about what their hand really is. Of course, they have the blind draws from the top, but you get an idea of where to go in the future turns. And because especially in AOT, a lot of the game comes down to you correctly guessing what the opponent has and hasn't in their hand. This is actually really important. And this goes further with people choosing to signal what they have in their hand by clocking. Like if they clock a wind, they obviously have another wind in hand. And clocking Move Gear is basically always wrong. But yeah, just watching what the opponent clocks and ditches and what's in their waiting room and how they early game how they try to attack. Like if they're a lot more aggressive, if they're willing to push you to 1, they're more likely to have Move Gears. So that if you attack, you get out countered or whatever, which is still fine in most scenarios because if they're early level 0 or mid level 0, you still get 1 reverse up because move counter is a level 1 card. But just stuff like that is something you should really keep in mind and think about. What does the cards I saw from the opponent, what does that tell me, and how would I act in that situation? What situation would we make discard this or clock this? Okay, so really short. I hope you got something out of it, and now we're actually done.